Welcome to the T-Pac Arcade. Today's game is R-Type for the Nintendo Game Boy. In this 1991 strategic shooter from IREM and Bits, the Beto alien empire is being a nuisance, and it's your job to blast them to smithereens across 6 Ridley Scott-inspired sci-fi levels. R-Type is what you get when you try to turn mindless space shooting into a game of chess. Unfortunately for me, I can't play chess. I mean, last time I attempted checkers, I had to go crying to the internet for help. You know how dumb you have to be to enlist the aid of Google for checkers? I'm top of the bell curve against bacteria here. Each stage in R-Type is like a puzzle, and that the only way to get to the other end in one piece is by finding the path of least resistance. And this focus on strategy over action feels right at home on the Game Boy. The Force Pod extension on your spacecraft is the star of the show here. As a shield, shot upgrade, and detachable offensive weapon, it's indispensable. The game revolves around fixing it to the front or back of your ship to fire angled lasers, ground tracking beams, and squiggly circle rays, then deploying it to sit on bosses and drain their health. The wide utility of this one apparatus may seem unwieldy for a console with just 2 action buttons, but the controls are incredibly intuitive. The only nuisance is that the R-Type factory was out of stock on all spacecraft that weren't size XXL. It's great for visibility given the Game Boy's tiny screen resolution, but makes navigating cramped levels feel like transcribing the Bible on a postage stamp with a Crayola marker. The graphics here are surprisingly appealing in all their monochrome 8-bit glory. It's really an artistic triumph to see the designers translate such complicated biomechanical elements in just 4 tones without muddying up the screen. And the black flashing you see when enemies take damage is a really satisfying and helpful visual. I love the crunchy hit detection noise that accompanies it too. Sounds like tearing up all the real estate ads I get in my mailbox. I'm like Gen Z, they should know I can never afford a house. And as with most shoot-'em-ups, you have to get used to the constant blaster noise, which in this case is a porpoise excitedly announcing his favorite color. Blue, 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 blue. Cheesing bosses with the Force Pod is the most novel aspect of the game. Practically every battle is designed around strategically guiding it to take a nap on whatever gross, pulsating alien appendage seems to be the boss's weak spot. Then you just avoid hazards while it deals damage and boom, they're cooked. With the Game Boy's hardware limitations, this port of R-Type reduces the enemy count, pace, and number of stages, which means a slightly easier game overall. Not so easy that I didn't still cheat my way through with save states, but manageable enough that I was able to clear a loop legit afterwards. This streamlining of the game is actually my favorite aspect of Game Boy R-Type. It felt like a more refined, approachable experience. If I could change one thing though, I would ditch the required second loop. The game makes you go through all the levels twice for the real ending, which is infuriating. That's like playing tag as a kid and little Linda Lou says, "Nah, you only got my ponytail. You gotta tag me again or I'm not it." Forget that, I'm just gonna go throw rocks at a hornet's nest with Gerald. Overall, R-Type continues to prove its merit in any form, and this Game Boy version is not only my favorite port of the title, but one of my favorite shoot-'em-ups of all time.